I mean, as a last resort, you could just remove that line.
Yeah.
Who needs an inventory?
This is gonna be like the trader. Yes, I have plenty to sell you, empty inventory. Hello, this is Yahweasel. We returned to the world of Pocket Fallout again, and still with Spec-Lad. I was finishing that. I'm trying to build up and give you the appropriate majesty you deserve.
Well, in that case, please continue.
With the one, the only, the inimicable, the emperor.
The impatient. Spec-Lad. Yes, greetings everyone.
Let's go chat with some slave traders, our best friends. After spending 10 minutes loading into the area and then probably the game crashing. Come on, not crashing. Come on, crashing.
That's a new one.
Oh no, it is, isn't it? Okay, so with new errors come new confusion. So item model.create random inventory doesn't exist. So the question is, where does item model get set? Okay.
It's probably on initialization.
Oh no! You're gonna notice in a second, Spec-Lad. I've highlighted a critical character here. So the question is,
I see what you mean, but
is the actual programming language case insensitive, or is the author actually a moron? Which, in either case, given that the author is also the person who wrote the programming language, either way, the author is a moron who makes a case-insensitive programming language. But it's lowercase item model here, lowercase item model here, capital item model there.
I mean, it's worth a try.
It's worth a try just to see if this author
it said that there's no method. Rather than...
But that's what it always says when it's a member. It's actually the object that's the problem, not the... Because item model is null or undefined or something like that. That's... Yeah, we've gotten function not found for exactly this situation. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about.
We'll see.
We'll see. I don't know if this will fix it, because it might very well be case insensitive, but I want to point out that if this fixes it, this is absolute proof positive that the author is an imbecile. Like, this is...
It's reminiscent of Pascal, and Pascal is case insensitive, so I wouldn't put it past it to be case insensitive, but who knows.
I mean, like, of all of the languages to use for a game of this era, why Pascal? Like, why is...
Well, Pascal is kind of popular. Well, at least it used to be kind of popular in Russia here, so...
There was that Pascal... What was it called? There was, like, this essentially Visual Basic alternative that was in... Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's probably the reason. Anyway, so we probably did... Damn it. Oh, this game. I didn't click there. There we go. Now that I'm actually in the correct area. Maybe. Fingers crossed. I suspect you're right, actually. This is probably not going to have fixed it. But if it does... Like, the cretiny... Okay. I'm glad that the author isn't as much of a cretin as I sort of suggested he might be. I mean, the problem is that if I initialize here, surely at some point the initialization is going to happen again, and so all of this is just going to do nothing.
What calls this function? Inventory for...
On create inventory... Oh, and that's going to be a... Yeah,
there's a handler.
Yeah.
So maybe you should initialize here?
That probably
Well, I
makes
guess it
more
doesn't
sense.
really matter.
Right, because this is gonna be called multiple times, clearly, so it's gonna be all the same. If I could sort of, like, get to what... Obviously, on create inventory ought to be called after on initialize, but instead it's just not, and so who the hell knows? Whatever. Fixing games.
Maybe there's another handler there somewhere.
There's obviously some handler that's not happening. Or maybe it's a race condition. God, maybe it's like... Maybe it is to do with the emulator, but like it expects something to load more slowly than it does. And so,
Possible.
like, something is supposed to happen later, but it's actually, like, a race condition.
The problem is, if you initialize there, then it's going to initialize multiple times because there are multiple objects, and that could
Right.
just screw it all up.
Well, I mean, it's going to... I have to assume that onInitialize is going to be called at some point, so even as stands, it's going to initialize, but, like...
Well, it's not going to be a problem if you initialize and then immediately initialize again. But if you initialize, then you do some stuff.
Right,
and then you
yeah, then,
initialize
then I
that's gonna
lose that
reset it.
stuff. But, well, it was just setting up their inventory, so they'll all be empty-handed, whatever. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Damn it! Oh my god! The sensitivity area is so high. I'm just trying to walk slightly into that area, and I'm failing. It's really annoying. Please work. Please work. No! No! It's the same place! It's the... No! Game, why? I don't know how to deal with this. And I don't mean the game, I mean my emotions. So...
I mean, as a last resort, you could just remove that line.
Yeah.
Who needs an inventory?
This is gonna be like the trader. Yes, I have plenty to sell you. Empty inventory. Like, this can't be real.
So maybe you have to apply both fixes?
Like, it's also case sensitive.
Your dog heard like bugs, so put bugs in our bugs. So it could debug while you debug.
Oh, if this fixes things, I might kill. All fingers crossed. I really doubt this one is going to fix it, but you never know. I mean, if it does, the cretin remarks are all back on. Okay, good. Okay, so, you know, I guess the item model just doesn't get inventory, because to hell with the item model. It can rot in hell. Go away. I wonder if, like, one of these other things is somehow unsetting it, or I mean,
wonder if the method actually exists. Like, you can probably find the class that it uses for item model and just see if this method even exists there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, though.
I mean, someone else could have a Pocket PC device that
Yeah.
can run it without fixing it.
I remember I have another Pocket PC device that I forgot about. I have my original, like my actual marketed Pocket PC. I also have, for reasons more obscure and insane than you can imagine, a Zune HD.
Wow.
And the Zune HD does run Windows CE, and you can run Windows CE programs on it. No! No!
Well, that's a different one.
I mean, yeah,
And
at
this
least...
is the one that we already know how to fix.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we know how to fix in that we just commented out.
Yeah.
I mean, the item model just doesn't work. That's all there is to it. I think user module.item model, whatever that is, like it's a class that doesn't exist at all for some reason. And so
That's interesting.
when it does...
Well, no, because it was fight model before.
Well, sure, but I mean, it could very well be that item model and fight model don't exist. And, like, create object, instead of doing something sensible like throwing an exception when you try to create from a class that doesn't exist, it just returns null? Please work. Please work. I mean, work again is a is a question. Well, we loaded in, so that's a minor miracle. Hey there, buddy. He's got a shotgun. That means he's important.
All right, what you doing here? And the options are. Um, I'm trying to figure out what the best way to translate the insult is. Well, shut up, asshole. I didn't give you the right to talk. And the second one is, I have business for your boss.
What? Like, how stupid would this character have to be to wander in? He has no weapons, nothing. This guy's carrying a shotgun, and he's just like, yeah, I'm the important guy, so screw you. Like, it's not just rude, it's insane.
Oh, oh, this is great. Oh, well, in this case, come on in. and the other option just says end.
All you have to do is say, I have business with your boss. This is the worst guard in the world. You just wander in, you're like, sure, I have business with your boss. What? Oh, yeah, come on. These guys are idiots.
Well, this guy is just here to filter out the guys who
use curse words immediately. Okay, let's end this conversation. Good guard work,
His boss is just
guy.
very insensitive, you know. He cannot take insults.
I mean, this is just because I'm a terrible person. I feel like just walking up behind him and donkey punching him in the back of the head just to demonstrate what a bad guard he is. But also, then he would murder me, so...
Well, check out that car.
I don't understand what I'm looking at. I think
Well,
it's it's like the bed of a truck, but the actual chassis is just gone.
I think it's covered by tarp.
But if that tarp is covering the chassis, then this truck is as long as it is wide, or as short as it's like a scooter sideways. Like, that's not, most vehicles aren't square.
It kind of looks like a chair on wheels.
It's the Mad Max chair. It's the Mad Max throne. Except that there's just a rat sitting up there wearing wearing the black suit.
That's the same dialogue.
Yes, it is. I didn't think this was a guard. Okay. Again, good guard work. Bravo. Thank you. Just walk on in. I'm not even going to talk to the pimp. I'm just going to go directly to the trick.
She whispers, "Free me! I cannot do this anymore." There's your female representation, by the way, for this game.
Yay! Equality, egalitarianism.
Yep. So your options are, how am I supposed to do that? The second option is, yeah, right, like I've nothing better to do. And the third option is, let's get out of here.
I'm really shocked that none of those options are, I'm going to purchase your, I'm not here to free you, I'm here for to use you. I guess I'll ask, how do I do that?
Kill them, shoot them, smear them on the wall, just do whatever, just free me, I beg you. And your options are, okay, and easy to say. Well, easy for you to say.
Right, like easier said than done, so to speak. I'm gonna go with that. Oh, and that ends the conversation. Okay, let's talk to the pimp.
Oh, a new client. I have, how do I even translate this?
Well, the word at the top right there is hobo, clearly. So he has a hobo to sell us.
He has a new hobo to sell you. That's okay, and your options are, great, how about that girl by the wall? I want to buy her. The second option is, who is that girl standing by the wall? And the third option is, no thanks, I'm gonna go.
He has 4 guards and only 1 prostitute. Or I guess she's not a prostitute, she's a slave girl.
Well,
but
business is hot, I mean.
The business is going to be really difficult when he has to pay 4 guards, but he only has 1 person to sell. Like, this is a terrible business model. Yeah, I'd like to purchase her.
He says, I would prefer to keep her for myself, actually.
He has 1 person to sell, and he won't sell. What kind of a slave trader are you?
Don't give him business tips. I mean, come on. His face, well, he has a shit-eating grin, basically. Well, you understand, right? And the options are, oh, you swine. Second one is, okay, but still. And the third option is, yeah, okay, whatever.
I guess I'm going to go with the second option if I have any hope of actually completing this deal. Which evidently I don't, based on that.
He says, get me an inflatable woman.
What the hell? What is this game? Why is this game entirely this?
I'm missing one from my collection, he says. And the options, okay, the first option is, what, have you all gone nuts? The second one is, deal. And the third one is, well, the parenthetical says persuasion. And then it says, how about you give her to me for free, and then I'll tell about you, and then I'll tell my friends about you.
Okay, I have so much to say here. A, what sort of a person, like, okay, let's set aside the slavery issue per se and say that within this world, we accept that he just has a sex slave. What sort of a person trades an actual sex slave for a blow-up doll? How is that a trade?
He doesn't need to do, the thing with it. He just collects them.
And B, if this is demonstrably the only slave he has, why could I possibly think that I'm going to convince him to trade her for nothing? I'll tell my friends about you. So what? They can come by and buy your no more remaining stock? What are you talking about? Well,
it says persuasion in brackets, so it's like using your super persuasion skills.
Yep. I'm betting that didn't work.
Actually, it did.
I did put points into talking, so...
So he says, now that's a thought. I need an influx of new clients. All right, fine, get your woman.
This is possibly the worst businessman on the face of the earth. Like, no one has ever been worse at business than this. This is the Donald Trump of post-nuclear Russia.
And your option is, well, okay, basically.
Great! I guess you're coming with me now. What is this game?
Alright, she says, you think you bought me and now I'm gonna do everything that you think of? Be sure that that's not the case. If you harass me, I will smack your batteries. Come on, keep scrolling. I will smack your batteries so hard that they're gonna fly out your ass. Is what she says.
Okay.
I mean, that's an unusual euphemism.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this means testicles.
That was my guess too, but I'm certain. I was about to ask, so like the way you said it, I assumed that was not a Russian euphemism, and therefore
I know, right?
we're equally confused.
Well, I mean, this is the future.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just a post-nuclear
Becky.
euphemism. Yeah.
Okay, and your options are calm down, calm down. I've bought you in order to free you. And the second one is come to me, sweetie.
Let's not be the complete Lothario.
Yes, let's not.
Oh my! What the hell? Calm down. Stop running through walls. What are?
So she has the nerve to tell you to calm down.
For next time. Until then, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, tell me what other obscure games you'd like to see me play, because this sure is a gem. The comments below. Cheers from Yahweasel and C&D'd.
Oh yeah, bye.